Like they are very much getting into the World Cup spirit over in the United States. Someone else, well, a couple of people who also are doing that are James McFadden and Liam McLeod, who are getting ready for the next match of the FIFA World Cup. How are you doing, boys? What's the stadium like now?
It's absolutely magnificent. I mean, I think I described during the match on Saturday night here when Scotland played Haiti, these stadiums are like spaceships, absolutely enormous and so modern. The massive screen, you get the biggest screens I think I've ever seen, certainly here off to my left, underneath the big lighthouse here, which obviously pays tribute to the locale here in Massachusetts, and Boston just 20 miles up the road from here. But the stadium's filled up beautifully, the sun beginning to set, so where we are here at the back of the main stand, if you like, up high in the heavens, the temperature has dropped a little bit, but it's still going to be pretty warm for the two sets of players. The big massive flags have just been unfurled on the pitch below us as FIFA get ready to do their pre-match show, and soon, very soon, the Iraqi and Norwegian players will be making their way down the tunnel, which is over on the right side, on the far side from where we are. The scene just about set here. Really intriguing battle, this one. Myself and James went to see Norway play Morocco in Harrison in New Jersey a week past Sunday, and whilst obviously they went through their qualification campaign, winning every single match, just the 6th time any European nation has done that in the UEFA qualifiers for either a European Championship or a World Cup. They were second best for big parts of that game against Morocco, who we saw against Brazil drawing 1-1 on matchday 1 in Group C. But they're going to have to, I think Stanley Solbakken will be hoping that they'll be able to up their performance levels this evening. If they win the game, you'll be just happy with that. I think you'll want to rack up as many goals as possible as well. And as Italy know, to their cost in qualifying, this Norwegian team has plenty goals in it. That front three of Sorloth, Haaland and Nusa are so dangerous. The front line that Solbakken's able to pick from can rival any of the teams here as the two sets of players begin to make their way down the tunnel and onto the pitch in this gigantic arena.
Outside of that, whatever the hell Bert Patnaud was up to in 1930, getting to all the way to third in the tournament, this is the best the United States has ever. You happy now? Or are we gonna find a problem with this too? Is there gonna be a problem with this? Because as an unbiased ball watcher, the best team at the World Cup so far, I realize we've only seen 4 matches, is the United States. This Paraguay team. Okay, I'm just going, by the way. We're not leading into this shit at all. We're just going. Because this is the best U.S. team I've ever seen. They just played the best game I've ever seen my nation play with my own eyes, because I didn't watch 2002 when they gave Germany a run for the money in the quarterfinal. Outside of that, whatever the hell Bert Patnaud was up to in 1930, getting to all the way to third in the tournament, this is the best the United States has ever looked. This Paraguay national team gave up 10 goals in 18 matches in qualifying. They are absolute defensive haram terrorists. This does not happen to them. It doesn't happen to them against Brazil. It doesn't happen to them against Argentina. They might have been a little intimidated by the moment. If you want to give the U.S. crowd some credit, it ended up being a packed house, even though everybody had to sell their firstborn child and one of their kidneys to be able to go to this match. They still ended up filling the stadium, which, you kind of hate that FIFA ended up kind of winning on that front, but it is what it is. The atmosphere was good regardless. But the United States showed up and dragged a warrior nation from South America over the coals repeatedly. We looked like the varsity team playing the JV. We looked like the first team playing the reserves. We dominated this game. We didn't just dominate this game on the scoreboard. We dominated it in possession. We dominated it in creativity. We dominated it in they couldn't touch us. They got 5 yellow cards in this match. They probably should have gotten more. The United States of America in this first half looked like a team that could win the World Cup. Now, before you head to your keyboard, I saw some of you go, stop. They're not one of the favorites. We are still not one of the favorites. I'm not somebody that's I'm resisting an urge, but I'm not somebody that's going to go that far. I'm obviously fired up. I went to a watch party on a dock next to an aircraft carrier and watched the U.S. just lay it down 4-1. All right, so I am fired up. We're not one of the favorites. But we've gone from really no actual conceivable chance of winning to dark horse, in my opinion. Because there's not a lot of teams that could do this to Paraguay. Now, obviously, how we play is going to have to adapt. It's going to have to change in the group. And then, obviously, putting up 3 points in the first match, you feel pretty good about being able to get out of the group. We just need 1 point from our next 2 matches to be able to guarantee that. I'm looking at the next 2 matches going, I'm feeling like we can really win both those matches if we play up to the level that we've shown. Are you always going to get that? Not necessarily. But, oh, my goodness, that felt good. It felt real good. It felt really, 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 really good. Because this World Cup has been everything. It's been about just about everything that's not on the field. And a lot of that's been deserved and is very important to talk about. But it is just really nice, after living in that world for months and years, to be able to just watch your team play. And not just watch your team play, watch your team dominate. Okay, when the lineup was announced by Pochettino, who deserves a ton of credit for this, I looked at it and went, that is the exact lineup that I wanted. If I was the coach of the U.S. national team, I would have picked the exact same lineup. Alex Freeman, stud. We found a way to get our best 11 players on the field. I mean, I can't believe Tim Ream is somehow included in that, but you got to have 2 center backs, and he's the second best one. By the way, he played well. He was a little off the boil for the goal that was conceded, but he did a lot of things very right and had a decent turn of pace to be able to chase down a few balls that I did not see coming. Matt Freese didn't have to do shit in this game. I don't think Paraguay had a shot on target. They did, apparently. I don't remember when it was. I don't remember when Paraguay created any of this XG. These stats don't feel far enough apart for me, because if you actually watched the game, the United States was swaggering.
Norwegian cross across the top, with Iraq wearing all white with green trim as well, and it will be the Iraqis to kick off as we watch from up high, almost bang in line with the halfway line, right at the top of the main stand here. Iraq shooting right to left as the sun begins to dip behind the stand here, and it is game on, and immediately it's been dumped over to the far side and out for a throw-in. We see that quite a lot these days. Alamari putting it out for a Norwegian throw-in level with their own penalty spot on the far side, as Norway look to make up for lost time. Their last tournament was 1998 in France, and taking on one of the biggest outsiders at this year's World Cup. Iraq are another nation at these finals who have a troubled background at home. Being here's like winning it for them, and the ball's come all the way through towards Nealon, who gets onto it. It's been a bright start by Iraq. They did put the ball into touch on the far side. That meant Norway were hemmed in. They won it back, but they couldn't quite manage to get in behind the defence, and it's picked up by Nealon, who plays it short, and it's now with the left centre-back Hegem.
Yeah, well, I thought Iraq would come here and sit right off the ball and put the pressure on Norway to break them down, but they've come here to be brave and on the front foot. As you say, I know the kick out of touch, it is the modern way where they can squeeze one side of the pitch and try and win the ball back higher up the pitch, but even that little pass, lovely little weighted pass, defended well, you have to say, by Norway, but they're here to take part, Iraq. I think it is a huge achievement being here, but it certainly looked like in the early stages that they want to come in here and have a go and enjoy themselves.
Long ball forward there by Zayed Tassin into the Norway half it goes again, and chasing after it's Hegem, left hand side of his own penalty area. He gets it up towards the halfway line, where it's met there by Hashim. Long ball, and it's right through to Nealon, who holds on. Doesn't get too many starts for Sevilla. He plays the cup games primarily. He's behind the Greek goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos at club level. He's still the Norwegian number one as he clips it out with the right foot to this near side for Ryerson. Turns it back to Odegaard, who shifts it to Christopher Ayer, whose error led to Morocco's goal in the friendly a week past Sunday. And they did fight back, and it was Odegaard who got the equaliser. The substitutions helped Norway in that game because they were by far second best in the first half of that one, James.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, their plans were interrupted. They supposed to have as Haaland goes through.
Long one through for Haaland. He's trying to get away from the defender. His touch takes it through though to Hassan, the goalkeeper, who's delighted to see that reach him, because as soon as you saw Haaland rampaging through into the penalty area, they would have feared the worst. As Iraq clear their lines all the way to Nealon again, and the Norwegian goalkeeper pumps it out for an Iraq throw-in midway inside their own half on this near side. It is goalless in the very early exchanges here, less than 3 minutes in.
Yeah, well, not that Iraq would be surprised that they've got a threat in Erling Haaland, but they look like they were in a good position to press. They've been quite brave actually in the early stages. 2 up front, 4 in behind them, but the 2 wide players are going and really making that a 4-2-4 and trying to stop the space coming into the midfield so that Norway don't dominate that way. But it's one ball, it's a lovely pass and a really good first touch from Haaland. He just can't then get the second and third touch to get the space to get the shot away. But yeah, they've come here to be brave and aggressive, Iraq, and try and disrupt or stop Norway from getting into any kind of rhythm.
Odegaard down the right hand touchline for Alexander Sorloth, level with the 6-yard line. He's won the, well, I thought he won the first corner of the match. He's gone for a goal kick. It bounced back off him last, so an Iraqi goal kick. And in fairness to Iraq, we look at them and perhaps see them as minnows coming into this tournament, but they are ranked 53rd in the world by FIFA. And there's many other sides at this tournament, at these World Cup finals, who are ranked far below that.
Yeah, and I think that you can look at world rankings and sometimes they can be a bit distorted, but I say this about every team that's here, that they've qualified for the World Cup. They're going to come here and you know, have a go and be tough. You look at Cape Verde the other night. Organisation is key, you know, that commitment to the team, that teamwork, team ethic. It makes it difficult to play against, and also probably people expect Norway to come here and win pretty comfortably, which then frees them up to allow them to go and be their own threat.
It's an Iraq free kick which has been launched into the Norway box. The first header was won by Hashim. It makes its way towards goal and it's whipped over the bar as they tried to shock the Norwegians in the infancy of this one, and it dropped to Hussein, and that's who they want it to drop to, just around about the 6-yard line, and he's headed it over, and it will be a goal kick to Norway, and it will remain goalless.
Well, it shows you the threat they have, because you look at this Norwegian side and it's the land of the giants. They're so physical, such good technical players, but they're physical. And Iraq get the ball in, they get the first contact and the second, so it's shown again, once again, that they're here to cause Norway problems.
Sorlot on this right hand side's an absolute giant, 6'7" he is, as he chases after this one down the right side of the Iraqi penalty area. It's well covered though by Akram Hashim, who goes down and wins the free kick. Sorlot with the foul, and he's gone over having a word with the assistant. He was knocking Moroccans around all over the place last Sunday.
Yeah, he was. It's definitely part of his game, you know, that work rate to go and chase lost causes down, the physical side of the game. Hashim does really well to read it and cover across, but Solot will not stop running. He'll keep going, he'll keep putting pressure on. As you said, it was like a battering ram against Morocco in that friendly. I expect very much the same tonight.
Now, Haaland scored 38 goals this season, so I suppose he's going to dwarf most footballers when it comes to goal tally, but in fairness to Alexander Sorloth, 20 goals he scored for Atletico Madrid in the season just gone. As the long ball is cleared into the middle of the Norwegian half, it's Sander Berge, goes back to Hegem and then back to Nilan, plays it short to Ayer, just outside his own box, to Odegaard, looking for a little bit of space to move into. He ends up rolling it back to his keeper, but Graham Arnold will be happy with the way that Iraq have bedded themselves into this game in the early exchanges. But Haaland's managed to nick it off the defender, and he's moved to the right side of the box. He's into the area to the byline, low across, and it's smothered there by Hassan. Famous last words talking about Graham Arnold being happy. He was nearly very unhappy there. Haaland managed to barge his way past Hashim into the box, and he just about teed up a Norwegian opener. It stays 0-0 on 7 minutes.
He burst the life there, Haaland. Rearson with the first header. Haaland's second favourite, but that speed to just burst across, get the header in, and it's actually a poor cross from him. I think there's a lot of space for him to go and pick out. Rearson had made the run inside him. I think that's a pretty simple pass for him to get a chance to score, but nonetheless the threat is there, and no less than we expected.
The supporters behind the Iraqi goal and over on the far side, shielding their eyes from the sunshine. Still very warm conditions here, but just about, I'd say, 2/3 of the pitch in shade just now, maybe just under that. And the players over on this near side will be happy with that, in the shaded positions, as it's picked up here by Alamari for Iraq. It's played forward out to this left side for the left back Doski, who wins the free kick. He's brought crashing to the ground. He scored a wonderful goal against Spain in Spain in one of their warm-up matches, finished 1-1. He scored the equaliser. It was an outstanding draw for them, and a real confidence booster, though they did lose to Venezuela after that last week, as it's clipped to the left side of the Norwegian box, headed out for a throw-in there by Ayer, and this is perhaps about level with the Norwegian 6-yard line. Ball back to Doski, takes a touch and crosses in, and it's cleared by Ayer first time out to this near side, where it drops for an Iraqi throw-in.
You mentioned friendlies, and particularly the ones close to the build-up. You can sometimes dismiss them because you've got a group of players that are trying to prepare themselves for the biggest games of their lives coming up, so it can be that there's a little bit of protection in there, and also they're just making sure that they're ready to play. But obviously you'd much rather win them so that you're in a good position coming into the games, but they don't always mean that if you don't win the games leading up, that you don't win the games when you actually get to the World Cup.
Well, they got a good motivator down on the touchline in the Australian Graham Arnold. He led the Socceroos to the last 16 in Qatar, the last World Cup. So he's got that experience to pass on to his players here. In charge for a relatively short spell, but and guided them through to these finals. He's already achieved legendary status in his adopted nation. As Odegaard takes a Norway free kick inside his own half, closer to the halfway line than the 18, and he plays it back to Hegem, and then out to the left side for Wolfe. And down the line it will go, and back here to Hegem. Takes it up towards the centre circle, then rolls it in field for Wolfe again. Forward to Berge. Iraq happy for Norway to have the ball in these kind of areas. It's Ayer low along the grass out to this near side for Ryerson. He goes back to Ayer and then to Hegem, but Iraq are chasing the game well when they're out of possession, and they force the error. It's a sliced clearance out there by David Moller-Wolfe, and that's out for an Iraq throw and run about the halfway line.
Yeah, they're pressing very well, Iraq. You can look at even Nusa. I know it's still early in the game, but he's getting frustrated. He's not getting on the ball, so he's coming deeper and deeper and deeper, but he's chased all the way and isn't getting the space by Ismail. And then Iraq have that full press on as the ball goes from right back all the way through to left centre back. There's no option, so it's a long hopeful ball out of play. Started really well, Iraq.
Odegaard for Norway, midway inside Iraqi territory. It's played to Nusa. He just loses sight of it momentarily. Fredrik Aursnes is onto it. It's a big switch out to Ryerson, wide on the right side. He's challenged. It's no foul by Doski, though. It will be a throw-in only for Norway, a bit level with the Iraqi penalty spot. As James has a little look at the replay, Ryerson felt he was fouled, the Borussia Dortmund fullback, but it looks like the correct decision.
Yeah, Doski gets there first and kicks the ball out. Maybe a little follow through, but just a normal collision when that in those type of challenges.
We're live in the Boston Stadium here on BBC Radio 5 Live. It is a Norway throw-in. It's 0-0, 10 minutes in. Ryerson to Odegaard, level with the penalty spot. Trying to tease the defender. Goes towards the byline, chips the ball in, but it's poor. Straight through to Jalal Hassan, who gathers with both gloves. And it remains Iraq 0, Norway 0 here in Group I. As these two react to that France-Senegal game, the French winning 3-1. And a double from Mbappe in amongst all that. It's a loose one as Doski gives it away. Odegaard tries to win it back, but he too is ransacked. And it's going to be collected by Hussein. Rolls it out to the right-hand side for Hussein Ali. Little ball in field. In comes the chip towards the 18-yard line, which Ayer heads clear. It's only half away though. Low side football towards the edge of the box. Hussein chases. Hussein shoots over the bar. Well, he got sight of the ball and sight of Nieland's goal frame, and he fires it high over the bar. It's got to go down as a huge chance though. He's got to keep it low, and it stays 0-0.
That's a brilliant chance, and it's great link-up play from Hussein and Al-Hamadi. Little straight ball up into the feet of Hussein. He just flicks it round the corner with outside his left, and Al-Hamadi's so close to him that he's onto it.
Norway come forward up the other end as it swings to our right, but doesn't fall for Haaland, and Iraq are able to clear. Little cushion header from Odegaard to his left for Berge. And out it goes to Wolfe, and then it's with Sander Berge, the Fulham midfielder. Rolls it out wide right, low ball to Ryerson. Side foot back to Ayer, and infield to Berge, and then to Ayer again. And it's certainly been a good start by the Iraqis. 13 minutes in, as they try to make a statement here, and it would be one heck of a statement, even if they were to take a point off this Norwegian side that's blasted their way through those 8 qualifying matches, and are the main reason the Italians have missed out on the World Cup finals again.
Yeah, many people tipping Norway to do really well at the World Cup here as well. So you look at the start that Iraq have made, and the problems are causing Norway with the ball and without.
We're only at the midway point of day 6 action after this, and we have Argentina-Algeria live at 2 AM on BBC Radio 5 Live, followed by Austria-Jordan at 5 AM, and that will be followed by Rick Edwards with 5 Live Breakfast at 7. Norway have the ball here in the midfield, and it's just rolled by Berge to Ayer. and plays it at close quarters to Torbjorn Hegem. It's a tough group to call this when you look at the two European sides in this. Clearly will be favourites, and with France beating Senegal earlier, who are they feel that they are the African champions right now. Morocco were awarded the title afterwards. A really tough group for Iraq.
Yeah, I think it's a tough group, for everyone. Iraq come in here and they're probably, everyone expects them to finish bottom of the group, and they may well finish bottom of the group, but they're posing problems here for Norway, who many would have felt would have challenged or will challenge France at the top of the group and go deep into the tournament. And you throw Senegal in there as well, strong side. That is a really, really tough group to call.
The French to make the breakthrough as Ayer picks up for Norway up towards the halfway lines. A long ball, but there's no way he was getting that to Haaland, who'd moved to the left. The ball went to the right and it sails behind harmlessly for the goal kick, and it will stay Iraq 0, Norway 0. We are bang on the 15-minute mark here. It was a quite wonderful stadium, this. It's the only one we've been in personally so far, but what an arena it is for these guys to go out there and play.
Yeah, it was special. It is special, sheer size of it, and just the way that you spoke about the screens. If people aren't watching or haven't been able to see it, even if it's on the telly, it's very difficult to comprehend just how big the screens are. But I'm sure, certainly spoke to a few fans that have been at the games here, and they've loved the experience. Fantastic experience for them.
And I'm not very good at guessing how big things are there, but that looks like it could be 100 metres long. Can't be too far off that.
Yeah, I'll leave the guessing to you, Liam.
Yeah. Norway have it with Hegem, midway inside his own half, rolls it to his left for Wolf. Down the line for Leipzig's Nusat. He's trying to get back onto it, shifts it in field there for Berger, who goes down and wins the free kick left of the centre circle. The referee was quickly on site there. He was in a good position to make the call. And Berger scythed to the deck unceremoniously there by Zahid Tassin. The free kick's rolled back into the centre circle for the man who won it, Berger. Now it's Ayer to Hegem, to his left for Wolf, and out to Nusauer over on that left side, taking on Hussein Ali. Midway inside Iraqi territory here, rolls it low in field to Berger. Plenty in red to hit ahead of him. It's a big switch. Out to Rierson on the near side, takes the first touch, looking to get past Doski, who stands his ground well, gets between the man and the ball and sees it out, actually off the Norwegian. Rierson. It will be an Iraq throw-in on this near side. You get the sense from some of the Norwegian supporters that they thought they'd be 1-0 up by now, at least.
Yeah, and I think that they've had chances to make chances. You think of the one Haaland goes through it, and Rierson's inside him. Even that one there, the ball switched, it's a brilliant switch. Rierson's in time and space, but his touch is a poor one, which then gives the initiative to be pressed.
Wolf goes down
by Doski.
Wolf goes down, no free kick. Iraq pick up and move it out to the right there with Ibrahim Bayesh. He's had to, the momentum from the attack went away, so he had to go back towards his own box. And it's now at the feet of Hassan, the goalkeeper. He gets it back immediately. You see the two managers down there. Graham Arnold to the left, Stali Solbakken to the right. And Solbakken was quite close to the sack a few years ago. He failed to make it to the Euro 2024 Championship in Germany. He was coming under heavy duress at that point. But you did feel that it was going to click eventually, because this, to all intents and purposes, looks like a golden generation for Norway.
Yeah, and you can understand when, with this squad of players, this group of players, that you need to be qualifying for major tournaments, and if you don't, then you're clearly going to come under pressure, because this is a special group, of course led by man Erling Haaland.
And here's Nusa driving into the Iraqi box, left-hand side of the 6-yard area, looking to get the ball into an area in front of goal, but it's been blocked and turned behind for the corner. First of the match, which goes to the Norwegians. Over on that far side, right in front of that huge tunnel the players emerged from pre-match. And it is goalless here on 19 minutes. And it's going to be an opportunity for Julian Rierson to swing this into the box. Only Michael Elise had more assists in the German Bundesliga last season than Julian Rierson, who's about to take this corner. An in-swinger with the right boot as he shields his eyes from the sunshine. He's got his right arm in the air here. A big group of players at the back post area. And this will be hoisted in by Rierson, and it comes, and the header is over from Haaland as he slaps his hands in frustration. Just didn't time his jump properly there, and he heads it well over the bar, and it will remain almost in 20 minutes here in the Boston Stadium. Iraq 0, Norway 0.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one for Haaland. I know that we expect him every time he gets in and around the box, it should be scoring every single time, but as a deep delivery, he's going backwards, he's at full stretch, he can't then get up over it to get the direction or power he wants on it. But I think it shows you, typical Haaland, he's disappointed he hasn't scored from it, but he might be a wee bit too harsh on himself there.
Jassim for Iraq over on this left side in the Norway half. Stadowski rolls it back to Hashim. Long ball forward, that's sailed harmlessly through there to Nilan. The Norway goalkeeper will underarm bowl it to his left for David Muller-Wolf of Wolves. And back to Hegem. And then it's a square ball for Ayer. The Iraq fans, the majority of them are off to our left behind the Norwegian goal. Kind of upper tier over to the right side, but primarily behind the goal, directly as they try and roar on their team with their first World Cup in 40 years. Long ball for Haaland from the goalkeeper, but it comes all the way through to Hassan, who holds on comfortably as we approach the first water break.
And I think it's a good option for Norway to go a bit more direct. A lot of it is to feet and in front of Iraq, and it's allowing them to go and close the spaces and get the press on. Definitely, you look at the speed and physicality of Erling Haaland, then it's without doubt an option to go in behind. What a touch from Nusa.
Nusa over on the far side, testing the pace of Ali. Skips away from a couple of challenges. Wonderful skill to shimmy away from the first, and then he wins the free kick off the second. And this is in a very promising area for the Norwegians, almost bang level with the edge of the D at the edge of the Iraqi box, and a chance to swing this in. It might be a tall order to shoot and score from this position, but given the wealth of talent in that Norway side, you would not be surprised if they have a pop.
That's absolutely sensational from Nusa. First of all, when the ball comes into him, he takes a touch and shifts it so quick, and then he's out on that left hand side, desperate to cut inside. Little one touch with the outside of the boot, then the inside to get the space, and draws the foul. Need to see more of that from Nusa.
He scored in both games against Italy in qualifying, and Antonio Nusa. And he's won this free kick, and Rierson's over it. And there are a lot of interested players in red jerseys in and around the Iraq box here. Berg is the most advanced of them in an offside position at the moment, as Norway look to make the breakthrough before the first hydration break. Rierson steps back from the ball, surveys the penalty area ahead of him. Arm in the air, down it goes, right-footed free kick coming up here. It's chipped into the area towards Sorloth, who heads towards goal. But it's a comfortable take for Jalal Hassan, and it stays Iraq 0, Norway 0.
It's a big opportunity, but I think Hashim just does enough to stop Sorloth from getting the free header. Of a little floated cross in, and I can understand that. You look at the height of that Norway side, physicality, such a danger from these set plays, but defended well by Iraq.
There's a ball played forward by Ismail. Cut out, he gets a second chance, flicks it with the outside of the right boot to that far side, and it's picked up by Bayesh, and eventually out of play for a throw-in to Iraq off a Norwegian. But the first hydration break arrives here in the Boston Stadium. It's been a relatively entertaining affair so far, if a goalless affair, and what is match 2 on day 6 of these 2026 World Cup finals. Earlier it was 3-1 to France against Senegal. Later to come here on BBC Radio 5 Live, the defending champions Argentina take on Algeria, and that will be followed at 5 a.m. by Austria against Jordan. Rick Edwards with 5 Live breakfast following at 7 o'clock. Then Steve Crossman's back in the 5 Live diner from 1 o'clock. Joe Hart and Olivier Giroud among his guests. And of course, throughout the day, lots of build-up to England-Croatia, 9 o'clock kick-off tomorrow evening. John Murray and Paul Robinson will be there in Dallas as Thomas Tuchel and his players take their bow at these World Cup finals. And what a match that is to kick off the campaign for those two. England against Croatia, of course, old foes, familiar foes, World Cup semi-final foes indeed in 2018. That's one to look forward to.
Yeah, I think that as much as there's been games where you wouldn't maybe say are glamour ties, but certainly a bit of history there between England and Croatia. A tough game for both to kick off with, but probably a good one to measure exactly where either side is. And one, yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Fans enjoying belting out Bon Jovi here. We're getting used to this in the water breaks, the music coming on. I know there are some American TV firms are using this opportunity for ad breaks, which hasn't gone down particularly well, I don't think, with some of the locals here. But what have you made of the tournament so far? We've seen quite a lot of action. We were obviously in this stadium as Scotland beat Haiti on Saturday. We'll be back here for Scotland-Morocco on Friday. Standout result, would you suggest that, you know, you look at Germany thrashing Curacao, you perhaps would have expected that, given Curacao the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup finals, but Cape Verde's incredible backline performance against the Spanish yesterday was something to behold.
Yeah, it was. Obviously I'm going to go for the Scotland one being the standout for myself, Liam, but yeah, it was great to watch Cape Verde, you know, coming in and just such a team display, solid defensive display, and really it's what the World Cup's all about. You look at Qatar getting their draw as well, the celebrations, and some people might look at it and say, well, you've only drawn the game, but for Qatar it's a huge point. Likewise Cape Verde, yeah, I think it's been good. I think you mentioned the hydration breaks here in play, and certainly maybe in some stadium, some conditions you might need it. There's no need for it tonight. It's nice conditions for the players. I'm not so sure it's required in a night like tonight.
Game's just about to get underway. Yeah, you look at that, Vizinha, the Cape Verde goalkeeper, has gone from something like 80,000 followers on social media to 4.5 million at the back of his performance. Game on again here with a free kick, right hand side, which is launched towards the box, but launched high and wide, and Norway will have a goal kick. What has been noticeable and notable is that after these hydration breaks, you're seeing some teams capitalising on having had a few minutes with the manager and just being able to take a breath, surveying what they've seen before. Scotland was an example of that the other night. Norway will be hoping that they can perhaps shake themselves into life here, because not looked sluggish, but that quality's been lacking so far.
Yeah, look, I think that the hydration break, if you're in conditions where it's required, absolutely, but it's now becoming a tactical break. And let's be honest, it's in because it's ad breaks for the Americans here. But yeah, there has been a switch at times.
There's Nusa attacking the Iraqi box, left hand side, a low ball across, Haaland's there! And into the net it goes from Erling Haaland! Who else but Erling Haaland on the biggest stage of all in football? Norway's record goal scorer and goal machine gives them the lead within a minute of the hydration break, and it is Iraq 0, Norway 1.
Well, you mentioned Scotland capitalising on it against Haiti. Norway have done the exact same. 28 minutes straight after the hydration break, and they get their goal. And Nusa, but at the heart of it, with that run down the left hand side, you've got the overlap, which is exploited brilliantly. And who else but Erling Haaland just makes his run towards the back post, is fired across, slides in, he's never missing from there.
It's outstanding play And I just mentioned that perhaps the Norway performance levels would be upped. Well, they have been instantly. As Haaland at full stretch at the back post slides in, puts it into the roof of the net, and Norway's number 9 has his 56th international goal.
Yeah, I mean, it comes Nusa, who when he's been on the ball has looked bright, but he's more often than not been high and, you know, isolated on his own. Iraq have then tried to get players round him, but Mola Wolf, it's the first time he's gone round him, and the ball's just played into his path. All he has to do is fire it across goal, because you know if you put that into the space, there's more than likely Erling Haaland's going to get an end of it, which he does. And it hasn't been, they haven't had it all their own way, far from it at the start of this game, but he only needs one chance, Haaland.
Here come Iraq looking for an immediate riposte here. Shifted out wide left of the Norwegian box for Ali Jazim. Taking on Ryerson, he's done well to shimmy away from him. Right foot cross comes in. Diving header away by Hegem. Will be collected over on that right side by Bayesh. His cross comes in, it's headed clear as well. And here's Nusa picking up. He was at the beating heart of the chance that led to the Haaland goal, and he's found him as he fires it forward. Haaland attacking the box, away from one challenge, decides to slip it unselfishly to his left. Sorlot's efforts blocked. Should he have gone it alone though? Should he have gone it alone, Haaland? As it's rifled out for a throw into the Norwegians, level with the edge of the centre circle on the far side. Norway 1 up, half an hour in.
He maybe should have, because he's in the middle of the goal, but the frustration for me is he plays it in such a way that he's telling Sorlot to hit it first time. If he does, he's in the space, he's more than likely going to hit the target. He may well score from it, but as soon as he takes a touch, the chance is gone. It's an unbelievable pass from Nusa to set Haaland off.
The first, or the fastest in international football history to get to 50 goals. The Manchester City man up to 56 now, and another corner coming Norway's ways. The cross is cut out on the far side. It was Wolf's effort, and suddenly Norway have managed to grab this game by the scruff of the neck.
More urgency in the play. You mentioned the hydration break, and there's certainly been, you know, a message from Sol back into the players, up the tempo, you know, play that ball in behind, be direct. Doesn't have to be aimless, but play it forward quicker, and certainly that seems to be what's happened.
56 goals in 51 international matches. It's absolutely ludicrous. I know he's playing a lot of minnows in qualifying, but so are some of the other star strikers that we've seen in European football.
56 goals and however many caps, it doesn't matter, it's still extremely impressive.
He's got double the number of caps, it would be impressive, you're right. Ryerson to take the corner. The ref's not happy with something though in the box, which he is sorting out at the moment, as he goes to speak to Sander Berge by the looks of things. Just on the 6-yard line, not happy with something there. He's lecturing a couple of players, the Iraqis Hussein Ali, the poignant Stetson defender, and one of those born in Sweden. He was born in Malmo. And the clearing for Iraq. And the refs sorted things out again. Group of players round about the back end, the right angle of the 6-yard box. They're all making a move now. And Ryerson will take the corner. Another in-swinger with the right boot from the far side. And it comes on top of the goalkeeper, gets it half away, and gets some help as well, and he gets a little help from the referee, who sounds his whistle. Free kick Iraq inside their own box. Really important phase in the game for Graham Arnold and his players. 33 in, they've just gone behind, and Norway have the win behind them.
Yeah, it is. Norway certainly got the lift from going ahead, and just get a chance to see that foul that was awarded there. I mean, there's no contact whatsoever on Hassan as he comes to get it, and if there even is, it's his own player. It makes a mess of it, and the referees let him off the hook there.
6:35 local time here on America's East Coast. Late on, of course, back home, and this is just the second of the 4 matches you will be hearing on BBC Radio 5 live on day 6 of these finals, as Norway begin to flex their muscles down there in Boston. Rolled out to Sorlot, widen the right side, attacking the Iraqi box. Low ball in is off kilter, and it's away. He was looking for Odegaard, but it's swept clear by Akam Hashim. And he's off a Norwegian. Berge for an Iraq throw-in down on this near side. There'll be frustration for Arnold because Iraq had a real foothold in this match before the 3-minute hydration break, and Norway pounced immediately after that.
Yeah, he will be frustrated, absolutely, but it's very difficult to keep Erling Haaland quiet.
That's a great ball switched out to Hussein Ali, right side of the Norway box. The cross comes in, it's headed away by Ryerson. And then pinched back by Sorloth, doing his defensive duties and winning the free kick as well. That was promising from an Iraqi point of view. There was loads of space out on that right side. And they couldn't force an opportunity to try and get back on level terms. It remains 1-0 Norway as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the opening 45.
They had the overload at the back post, and you mentioned whether they'd be disappointed. Graham Arnold, I'm sure they would have said, even if you go a goal behind, don't lose, you know, your confidence, keep going, try and keep play, be brave. And you can see that they're doing that by the sheer number of bodies they've got in the box. It's not just one player that they're trying to pick out. They've got 3-4 players there that can go and cause problems, and I think that would always be the case, because you mentioned Haaland. I mean, doesn't have to be that involved, but you know, if the chance is in space, he's more likely he's going to get on the end of it, which he has done. So it's about maintaining the composure and not losing your heart and your fight because you're a goal down. I think they'd know or understand that was more than likely going to happen.
There's every chance that on June the 26th, Norway and France clash right here at this very stadium in Foxborough to win the group. As Odegaard picks up a loose ball, finds Haaland at the edge of the Iraqi box. Sorloth back to Odegaard. His effort with the left foot's dragged wide of the right-hand post. Low effort from the Arsenal man, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Iraq, and it remains 1-0 to Norway.
Yeah, it's self-inflicted. Iraq have a chance to play the ball forward, they don't. Norway pounce on it, and then the link-up play was really good. Haaland, Sorloth and Odegaard, he just can't quite get the connection he's looking for.
The Iraqis play France next in Philadelphia. Norway are at the MetLife to face Senegal in New Jersey on the 22nd. And by the close of business tomorrow, every team will have played a game at this tournament, with England against Croatia headlining 9 o'clock kickoff in Dallas tomorrow here on BBC Radio 5 Live. It is a throw-in on the near side to Iraq, which will be taken by Merkas Doski. He bowls it back to Hashim and then to his goalkeeper Hassan. It is of paramount importance Iraq do not concede again before the interval. It's a long ball down the right side, is knocked straight out into touch there by Bayesh. Plays in the UAE. Scored a couple in the World Cup qualifiers. That long and arduous journey to North America that it was. Incredible, 23 qualifiers compared to Norway's 8. Let's turn back into their own half here for Iraq. It's a little ball shifted there by Hashim to his central defensive partner Tashin, and given away again. Looking a little bit bedraggled here at the moment. And they do win it back, and it's now with Hussein, who's got goal side of Odegaard. He's driving into the Norway half. He's midway into it now. Low ball out to this left side for Jazim, taking on Ryerson, level with the 18-yard line. Can he find a pass? Yes, he can. Left-hand side, it's a little chip ball back. The header's in! Wow, Iraq are level! Ayam Hussein heads home! And it's a huge one! It is a massive goal, a first World Cup in 40 years! And Ayman Hussein with an outstanding header, down into the ground, spinning back into the net, past Neelan, and it sparks scenes of wild celebration behind the goal there. It is Iraq 1, Norway 1. What a moment that is for that country.
And it's a quite magnificent goal. Ali just see him down the left-hand side here. He shapes, he goes with his right, he fakes, he comes on to his left, It's a lovely run from Alamari off Martin Odegaard, who switches off, and the ball looks like it's going to run out of play. He gets there and he just stands up to the back post with the left foot, and Hussein with a towering header up there first, desire to go on the end of it, down into the ground. Absolutely no chance for Neelan to get it, to keep it out of the net, but it's a wonderful goal from Iraq. You're just saying about making sure they don't concede another. Wow, I mean, it's a quite incredible goal from him. The scenes in this stadium, wow, the noise.
Absolutely incredible. The man whose goal took them to these finals has them on their feet once more, scoring at the finals and cancelling out that Erling Haaland opener for Norway. The only other man to score for Iraq at a World Cup was Ahmed Radi, who passed away in June 2020 at the age of 59 following complications with COVID in Baghdad. He scored 62 in 121 appearances for his country, and he scored against Belgium in Toluca at that tournament in Mexico. And 4 decades on, the name of Ayman Hussein will be up in lights everywhere from Baghdad to Basra. And as James was saying, the scenes of celebration were something to behold. It is 1-1 here in Boston in the final 5 minutes of the opening 45. Another moment early in the first week of these finals that will live long in the memory for those who witnessed it. Here come Norway down the left. Nusa is the target for the pass. Sliding in to put it out is Ali, and out for a throw-in. And in fairness to Graham Arnold, he'll feel his team deserves to be level here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they started bright, and obviously Norway managed to get the goal straight after the hydration break. But I was saying how important it was not to lose heart. Don't, stick to the game plan. Don't think that it's over just because Norway have scored. And a quite wonderful goal scored by Iraq. Great play. Ali Jassim down the left-hand side. Odegaard switches off. The cross and the header. Absolutely magnificent.
Rierson for Norway on the near side. Slips it in field and gets it back immediately from Sorloth. Level with the edge of the arc of the Iraqi box. Now back with Berga. Low ball for Sorloth, but he's been bullied off it, though it's been won back by Rierson. Looking for space to cross, still has support from Sorloth on the near side if he wants him. He's down at the corner flag, goes to ground, claims he was fouled. Goal kick only though. He's got his arms there, gesticulating at the assistant. He's adamant that this is a foul and a free kick. There was a little push on him by Doski. Has he got a point though?
Yeah, he does. The assistant referee, I mean, Racing gets there, he slows down, Doski comes in, 2 hands, pushes him in the back, but we've got a chance to see the replay there.
Oh, it's a loose one back, and Haaland's onto it and knocks it past the goalkeeper. An awful error at the back from the Iraqis. The right smile on the face of Erling Haaland, as nonchalant as ever. He's got 2, and he has officially arrived at the World Cup stage as Erling Braut Haaland to restore the Norwegian lead before the break. Iraq 1, Norway 2. But it's a nightmare for Graham Arnold's men.
Yeah, it is, and maybe it was the correct decision not to give the free kick after all, but it's just a slow, slack pass. You cannot play a square pass back to your goalkeeper in the box with Erling Haaland around. It's a gift for him, but he's got the anticipation to get there. He's a killer, Erling Haaland, and you cannot be giving him any encouragement to go and put the ball in the back of the net, because it's what he does.
Well, he's matched Kylian Mbappe, another European football superstar who got 2 against Senegal earlier. And Haaland's got 2 himself, though with a massive touch of fortune. The slow, loose back pass. The goalkeeper tried his best to clear Jalal Hassan, but he could only rifle it off Haaland, and it bounced past him into the net, and Norway have their lead back in an instant.
Yeah, and it comes from the goal kick that was awarded that should have been a foul. I was just trying to explain that the assistant referee was only watching the ball. He didn't see the push, that's why he didn't give it. He's right in front of it. Iraq then get the goal kick, they play it out, it goes to Tashin, who plays a square pass back towards Hassan in goal, who's on his heels. He's waiting for the ball. There's not enough pace on it, and he reacts too late. Haaland's in, and he gets a little bit of fortune. He gets the first touch, Haaland, and then Hassan just tries to clear it, hits it off him and into the back of the net. But it's such a poor goal to lose from Iraq's point of view. Spoke about the reaction, the wonderful goal they've scored, and the fact that they started the game so well. It's an absolute gift, and you cannot be encouraging pressure from the likes of Erling Haaland, because we know about his goal scoring. He is so quick, he covers the ground so well, and it's an absolute gift for Norway and for Erling Haaland.
Here come Iraq again though, and it's a ball slipped forward there by Al Hamadi, but it's cut out at the edge of the box. It's picked up on the near side by Sorlot. He's given it away, and double for Haaland, double for Mbappe earlier, and James was very happy because Elijah Just of New Zealand plays for his club Motherwell and scored a double last night against Iran in that 2-2 draw. So Just's in decent company there.
I was just about to say Haaland's in quite good company there,
Liam. We're into stoppage time, and there will be 5 minutes added, 3 of those of course because of the hydration break. And now we're back in a position here for Iraq where they cannot afford to go 2 goals down, which we just finished saying when they found their equaliser. But Norway pounced immediately, just about to go back in front within 4 minutes of the Iraq equaliser.
Yeah, well, it's the same message, and I don't see anything of, you know, a negative from the response from Iraq. They're still going forward, they're still trying to be brave with the pressure. And you're right, it's important that they don't lose their composure once again, but certainly not to take any risks in these situations. Tashin there on the ball, looked like he was going to try and pass it back to the goalkeeper, felt better of it.
Yeah, because of what happened last time he did that. The foul by Wolf over on the far side would be an Iraq free kick. On the right side of the box, rifle across the face of his own goal there to Hashim. Haaland's onto him now, but he's out wide, and it's a foul there by the Man City striker, who howls at the heavens in frustration at the decision. And it is an Iraqi free kick, and it remains 2-1 to Norway here on BBC Radio 5 Live as we get closer to the half-time break.
Yeah, and just before it, Mulla Wolfa was penalised for probably less than the push on Rierson that leads to the goal kick, that leads to the goal. Haaland pretty similar there. Hashim, it's quite clever from him, because he knows he's getting pressure from Haaland. If he takes that touch ahead of him, step across, know the contact's coming, go down and buy the foul, and he's trying to steal about 20 yards here, and he's actually getting away with it from where the foul's been taken to where it was actually committed.
Long ball forward there by Hashim into the Norway half. The first header's won by Hussein brilliantly. Now on the left side of the box is a chance for Al Hamadi. Low ball across and cleared by Berga. And that was promising for Iraq. They might have another chance here inside the area. Odegaard has to be careful. It's collected by Al Amari. Back to Doski, crossing in, chance! Oh, it's wide! What an opportunity! There's no flag either. They're shouting for handball inside the box as that was put past the right-hand post by Ibrahim Bayesh. Huge chance for another equaliser, and he might well, when you see the replay, have a point. James having a look at it right now. It's a good angle.
No, I think it comes off his leg, but
it's his leg. It's his leg.
Left knee. I don't know where that claim's coming
block
from. I have to say it's a brilliant block, but great play again from Iraq. Hussein and Al Hamadi are causing problems for Norway when they get the ball forward, and the chance for Al Hamadi just before it drops down to Bayesh, that's a big opportunity for him. It's a free header, he just doesn't get the contact he's looking for, but absolutely no way that's a penalty kick.
It is a corner though to Iraq over on their right side, left-footed from Al Amari coming up here. Plenty movement in the box, in it comes. The header's wide though. He's got his head in his hands now as Zaid Tashin keen to atone for the error that sees Norway 2-1 up here. We played 3.5 of the 5 minutes of stoppage time.
They've done really well. I know that they're behind here, but they have shown that they're a good side. Brave, playing 2 up. The link up between the two strikers has been excellent. I think Jassim down the left hand side has caused problems for Rierson, and they're certainly not giving in. They're putting up a good fight here.
Final minute of the stoppages. It is collected here by Torbjorn Hegem, who plays for Bologna in Italy. Regular for them, 39 appearances. And previously at West Brom for a season, he was the club's player of the year there. At one stage, Nusa picks up in the left, looks to get it back there from Ausnes. Eventually it goes off an Iraqi player for a throw into Norway on the far side. There's a little chip ball forward. Odegaard as he sprung the offside trap, left side of the box, still on it, no flag. Leaves it for Nusa. Lovely skill for Nusa, but he just couldn't get past the second defender. Iraq clear their lines, desperately hanging on here. You just want to be a goal behind rather than two at half-time. It's a lovely flick though. Can they get back level again? That's going to come through here, and it is an opportunity for Al Ahmadi's in, but he's touched it past the left-hand post. And perhaps the attentions of Christopher Ayer did just enough. And I think it's the Norwegian defender who's got the final touches it. And corner has been given, and he sprung in behind. It just wouldn't sit for him. He wanted that more in his stride there. It kind of stuck in the turf.
Yeah, I think his touch makes that happen. It's a lovely pass in front of him. He does the right thing by trying to cut across the front of Christopher Ayer, but he goes too far across him. He doesn't go forward, almost if he goes sideways.
In comes the corner towards the back post. It's headed away. Still an opportunity. It's swung back in. Final action of the first half. Headed clear. Iraq. Oh, what a shot that was! It's rippled the net, but it's over. The Iraqis thought it was in. It's an astonishing effort on the volley with the left foot there, which somehow had just about everyone in the stadium believing that it was in the net itself. As it rippled the back, it's an outstanding hit there by Akam Hashim, the centre-back, as the referee blows for half-time. What a shot it was. Haaland's double, either side of one, back from Ayman Hussein, has Norway 2-1 up right now, and James McFadden, what an end to the first half that would have been. That would have been a goal fitting for a World Cup finals.
Oh, absolutely. I still don't know how it didn't go in. I mean, it comes from nowhere from Hashim. He's running towards his own goal. He just swings the left boot at it. Just can't quite keep it down. And in the stadium, it looked like it hit the back of the net. It goes over it. But they've put in a good shift, Iraq. They've done well. They've looked really good, dangerous, caused problems for Norway. But once again, the story will be Erling Haaland, 2 goals. I'm sure he'll be hungry for a few more.
He must have been chomping at the bit to get his shot at the World Cup. He's done just about everything else in football you can add at a World Cup finals to that list. Indeed, scoring twice at a World Cup finals, because here in the Boston Stadium at the interval, it is Iraq 1, Norway 2. So we hand back to Castleholm.
Liam, James, thank you both very much. Yes, a very entertaining first half, and more of that to come. We will be back with the football soon, but first, the BBC News on 5 Live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
A couple whose yacht came within 500 yards of a Russian warship when it fired warning shots at them in the English Channel have described the incident as surreal. Jane and Alan Kelvey were sailing 20 miles south of the Isle of Wight when they came enough money a day
at sea every day around the UK, around the world. And if we follow the rules, we shouldn't come to these sort of incidents. But unfortunately, things seem to have escalated. And
the crossbar. They had their moment with the equaliser from Ayman Hussein. Erling Haaland has two. The second was a gift. The first was typical Haaland. Half-time, very, very eventful. Iraq 1, Norway 2.
Well, we thought that was in. There was quite the reaction in the studio. We'll take a look back at that shot that we thought had actually gone in the net and was the equaliser for the second time for Iraq. But this has been so much closer than we thought it might be, Steph.
What a crazy first half. I think we're all sitting here thinking how close it's been, how competitive it's been, and Iraq have really done themselves proud. I think they've really caused Norway a lot of problems, but yeah, fantastic. 3 goals and lots of chances as well.
And although Iraq are more of an unknown quantity, they shouldn't really be an unexpected quantity, particularly with someone like Graham Arnold in charge of them, because we know what he can do in terms of organising players.
Exactly, and they've shown it on the biggest stage that they can really compete against Norway. Their press, their desire, their togetherness, the way they're competing, their through balls, their runs in behind, their physicality. They're really opposing themselves on Norway, and that's caused a lot of problems for Norway, particularly just before the hydration rate in that first probably 25 minutes.
Because although Norway are in front as we go into half-time, actually Iraq are the story of the first half.
Absolutely. We weren't sure how they was going to deal with Norway. We thought Norway would probably, we was doing our little predictions. We all had Norway down. But Iraq, full credit to them. They've come out front-footed, believing in themselves, as you said, together, desire, all the things that you want to see front-footed. And I think I know Norway are ahead, but this game's not over by any means, as we've seen just before the break there. And credit to Iraq for having a game plan and causing Norway so many problems.
I mean, as everybody has said, they set their stall out really early on. They were not there just to make up the numbers, Steph.
No, they're not, and I think a lot of us were probably expecting them to kind of sit off and let Norway have the ball, but I think, like Ash and Ellen said, in terms of the aggressiveness, the front-footedness, and it was shown in the press, Kelly, a 4-4-2, the 2 strikers really working hard to try and make Norway play longer, and of course, at this moment in time, when Erling Haaland one-on-one, it does pose a little bit of a risk and it creates chances for Norway, but I think in general, Iraq, in terms of the togetherness, they've been coached really, really well, and as soon as that ball goes back, the whole team goes, and the idea is to try and force them one way and to put Norway under pressure. I think they've done that really, really well in this first half, and Norway really ran out of ideas.
And they caused them some real problems, and obviously, competing, getting chances on goal as well. Hussein and Al-Hamid are really kind of imposing themselves on that back line. The centre-halves from Norway are kind of at 6s and 7s at times, where they don't know who to mark. They've got unbelievable runs, but they win the ball back second, third time. And Al-Hamid, he had a great chance then just over the bar, but just the way they're getting onto second and third balls, and then that through ball, and they're getting the runners in behind as well.
They're such a handful for central defenders, aren't they?
Yeah, it's tough. Norway, Norway are tall. They can defend the box well, but as we said before the game, so are Iraq's 2 strikers, and they like that. They like the battle, and they're not hesitating to get the ball up to them, winning second balls and creating chances. They've been more than in the game. More than in the game.
However, Norway do have Erling Haaland, and that's where their opening goal came from.
And he's a special player, isn't he? And this actually came straight after the hydration break, like kind of 58 seconds afterwards. And Norway have started to kind of figure out the press here with Iraq. And into Sørloth here, uses his body well, but then can he get it across the pitch? Berger with a lovely position in that middle of the park, and then Noosa on that left-hand side. And then you'll see Muller-Woofer there. He's just making that overlap run. But that ball is absolutely unbelievable from Muller-Woofer there. But the pass just makes the run for Haaland, but that's a really difficult position in between the centre-half and the full-back. The way that he's able to get his leg out, with the height that it's coming out and get contact on the ball is unbelievable. And that's what he's known for, those type of finishes with his athleticism. But yeah, it was a great finish.
Having seen the way that Iraq started in this game, Ash, is it significant that the goal was scored 58 seconds after the hydration break?
Yeah, because, you know, as we've said, I think up to that point, Iraq had the number of Norway. There was pressing. Norway weren't sure how to get out. We were saying they just needed to miss the press out, Norway, and go longer because Iraq was swarming them. But then with the hydration break, you feel that maybe they got a message down to the team of how to get through it, and then they got the goal.
However, Iraq were back level. It's their first goal at a World Cup, only their second at a World Cup, rather. Their first for 14,618 days. It came from Ayman Hussein, and it was no more than they deserved.
Yeah, I mean, even though they went 1-0 down, I think they were always still in this game, and this is great footwork. I think Ali was really patient. Then the runner runs off Martin Odegaard and Hussein. I think it's so kind of special that he's been able to score this goal. I think to get them to this place, especially scoring that winning goal, to get them to the World Cup, but to be able to be that area, and what a fantastic header, great cross and great ability. And Norway have not really been able to cope with crosses from wide areas, and Kelly, this was only what they deserved.
And as you say, significant that he scored it, not just because he's been such a key part of their qualifying campaign, but also because of his personal journey, which includes almost retiring from the game because of a series of personal tragedies. His mother then convinced him to stay in football, and he goes on and he scores Iraq's second goal at the World Cup finals, having been detained for 7 hours in immigration and nearly not allowed into the country. He's there and he's scoring on the biggest stage. But they don't go in at the break level. They go in at the break 2-1 down, and it was Erling Haaland yet again.
Yeah, well, who's going to score again, really? And it's disappointing from Iraq because they were going a bit longer. And they're now playing around the back and to the goalkeeper. And it was just a misplaced pass. Could the goalkeeper have been a bit more front-footed? But Erling Haaland is straight there, you know, front-footed. And he wants the goal. He's hungry for it. And he obviously gets that slight deflection. But it's obviously disappointing from Iraq from, you know, they were 1-0. Could they have taken that into the half? Did they need to play it around the back? Could they have gone a little bit longer? But it's still 45 minutes, and Erling Haaland's got his second World Cup goal.
But having got themselves back in the game, to concede like that, Ashley.
Yeah, disappointing. What was pleasing is straight after that goal went in, Iraq went up and had 2 chances again, so that they haven't dropped their heads about that. Now they can get in at half-time, collect themselves. Here we see the chance coming up. But this is how they responded to going down to a disappointing goal. And he's asking for a handball, but I don't think it is. It's just a good block.
We thought it might be on first viewing.
Yeah, straight away. But you can clearly see that it's the leg that it catches on this view, which is a great block, because that's going in as well. So pleasing if you're Graham Arnold and an Iraq fan, the way that they've responded to it. This is a great pass. He just doesn't take, Al-Hamadi doesn't take a big enough touch and get it out his feet. He allows the defender to get back. But they're creating chances again, and they've done this all half. So although Iraq go in behind at the break, you don't feel that it's one-way traffic by any means, because they're pressing well, they've got good energy. Look at this one. You three were all screaming that it was in. I was like, it's not gone in, but it's a great strike.
Oh, did you know the difference?
I knew, yeah. I don't know what you was looking at.
I screamed, I was on my feet. I thought that was in.
You see it rattle the net.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're 15, you don't have your glasses on, you think that one's got in. But look, they've done more than enough to be level at half-time, but they are 2-1 down to Norway at the break. But they can be really proud of the first half that they've put in, and there might well be more to come in this game. Now, in case you missed it, where have you been? But there's also wall-to-wall football content available on the iPlayer.
Give it up for the greatest of all time.
Lionel Messi shows his genius
made impossible feel like it was possible.
Your superstar lineup of unforgettable characters.
There's God, and there are the Peaky Blinders.
And absolute icons.
The stakes couldn't be higher. Please do continue to enjoy your supper.
From football legends to TV royalty, watch them all on BBC iPlayer.
And the live football continues on BBC One at 10 to 5 tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning that is, with Austria against Jordan. It's day 3 of the men's tennis at Queen's. Coverage of that starts at 11:30 in the morning on iPlayer and then from 1 o'clock on BBC Two. Whole range of episodes of The Wayne Rooney Show available right now on BBC Sounds. And England finally get their World Cup campaign underway tomorrow, Wednesday night. There is full live commentary on 5 Live and BBC Sounds at 9 o'clock. And why not watch this to get you in the mood?
What I want to speak about is much bigger than football.
The real tragedy of being afraid, it's what it takes.
I'm not a believer in fairy tales, but I am a believer in dreams.
Nothing is ours by right. We've got to earn it. Keep going. Keep believing.
Dear England. Watch now on BBC iPlayer.
Well, this World Cup's England squad have arrived in Dallas ahead of the first game against Croatia tomorrow. Kelly Summers, the real star of the Wayne Rooney podcast, is pitchside in the stadium for us now, along with former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson. Kelly.
Yes, good evening, Kelly, or I should say good morning, shouldn't I, in the UK. It has been a long time coming, but finally, in less than 24 hours' time, England do get their much-anticipated World Cup campaign underway here in Dallas against Croatia. And Paul, I think the first thing to say is, in the build-up to this tournament, we have spoken so much, haven't we, about the intensity of the heat, the conditions. It's very hot outside the stadium, but the roof is on, the aircon is on. Just how much will these conditions favour England?
It's wonderful. I mean, the England fans that are coming here tomorrow are in for an absolute treat. I mean, I've played in a lot of very impressive stadiums and travelled the world covering games in a lot of impressive stadiums. This takes your breath away. You come in here and you talk about the temperature. It's all temperature regulated, 20 degrees. There's going to be absolutely no problem with England playing in here tomorrow night. And I think it's really important that they're playing Croatia here. Obviously the toughest game in their group, and the conditions will suit them. It'll be absolutely ideal for them. I mean, the stadium itself is impressive. The pitch so early on in the tournament is fantastic as well. All the conditions will be in England's favour tomorrow. That's absolutely for sure.
As Kelly, you just said then, England have just arrived here in Dallas. Thomas Tuchel is going to be speaking to the media inside the stadium very shortly. That's where we're heading to after. But what would you say, I think we know who his goalkeeper is going to be, by the way, so I won't ask you about that, but what would you say are his main selection dilemmas? Because I don't know if you heard Bukayo Saka speak yesterday. I don't think he alleviated any concerns about his fitness.
No, I think he's carrying that Achilles knock, which we know, and I think his minutes are going to have to be managed during the early stages of this tournament. Thomas Tuchel will think that his England side, as we all do, will go deeper into the tournament, and he will become a key player. I wouldn't be surprised if the starting 11 against Costa Rica is the one that starts here tomorrow. Madueke may play. And I think the decisions that he's got, we talk about the central defenders, who's going to play there. It looks like it's going to be John Stones and either Mark Gay or Ezri Konsa. One of two with John Stones, where we thought that it would maybe be the other two that were the pairing. Jude Bellingham, Morgan Rogers, that's the big conversation that we've all been having. And on the left wing as well, I think the way that Anthony Gordon's approached the two warm-up games, the friendlies, if you like, coming into this tournament, he's made a real case to start.
Offside is the decision, though.
Second half. James McFadden.
He's probably taken by surprise at the switch of play, because it is a wonderful switch of play from left to right. He is just slightly offside, and you're looking at, you know, what both sides can do. Norway want to come out and assert the authority on the game. Iraq, I think they just have to continue doing what they're doing, because they have been really good. They cause problems when they've got the ball forward. The two up front are causing all sorts of problems. Their physicality, but they're playing so close together that they are playing as a front two, as a pairing, and the link-up play between both of them is really good.
And the first World Cup since '98 for Norway, first major tournament all told since Euro 2000. Ryerson over on the far side, looked like he carried the ball over the line there. The ref, the linesman didn't spot that. That looked like it had gone over the line for a goal kick, and eventually the referee has pointed that out. I'm not sure why the assistant's flag didn't go up there. And it will ultimately be a goal kick to Iraq. 2-1 Norway.
Yeah, it looked like he'd overrun the ball.
It's well over.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken 2 touches off the pitch there, and the assistant referee in that far side has kept his flag down. Everyone stopped because they could see it was out. Thankfully we got the correct decision.
It's back with the goalkeeper here. Hassan plays it short to his right for Tashin. Long ball into the Norway half, trying to chest it into a better position out wide in the right wing. There was Hussein, but it's gone out of play for a throw into Norway anyway, though the whistle did go, so free kick has been given in the end, taken by Mother Wolfe, and back he comes to Berger. He's popped up between the 2 centre backs for the Norwegians. Berger again here. In Euro 2000 they failed to get out of their group, Norway. Spain, Federal Republic of Yugoslavia went through and exited on the head-to-head with the Balkans at that tournament. And drew 0-0 in their final game against Slovenia in Arnhem, but it wasn't enough despite Yugoslavia losing to Spain in Bruges in that European Championship. And got out of their group at their last World Cup as well, with Brazil, Scotland and Morocco, and beating the Brazilians in their final group game to get through. Here come Iraq down the right side, trying to make waves as Hussein Ali knocks it back off Hegem, and out for a throw-in to Iraq down by the corner flag on this near side as they go left to right as we watch in the back of the main stand here in this huge bowl of a stadium in Massachusetts. Still the sun shines down over on the far side, affecting now the top few tiers over on the other side of the ground from where we are. And let's turn back to Hashim, and his ball out wide has gone out for a Norway throw-in. Will remain Iraq 1, Norway 2 on 50.
Yeah, it's a slack one, but there's no harm done. It's a forward pass. They just can't get it out to Jassim. But the thing that's impressed me probably the most about Iraq is they haven't been overawed by the occasion or the opponent. They've come and they've tried to be themselves, and they've put in a strong performance so far.
This was a team that bulldozed their way through the qualifiers, winning all 8. Of course, England put together a similar qualification campaign as well, but Norway sweeping the Italians aside was probably the stand-out results from the qualifying campaign. The way they just hammered the Italians in both games. Iraq have it back here. They've seen plenty of the ball in this game. Possession's relatively equal across the board, up to press. Let's turn back to Zaid Ismail, midway inside Norwegian territory, rolls it out to the right for Bayesh, and back it comes to Ismail. And the vast majority of this Iraq squad play in their homeland. It's one of the lowest ranked leagues in world football, well below some of the lower leagues in England actually, so they're having to come up a level. There are, as I mentioned, a couple playing in Poland. There is Al Hamadi, who was at Luton last season on loan from Ipswich, and you got Mert Kastowski, plays for Victoria Pilsen in the Czech Republic. That goes out to play for a throw into Iraq, just inside the Norway half, wide on the left. Bowled back the way there to Hashim. It's back to his goalkeeper Hassan. They look comfortable in the game.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
They absolutely do.
They've had more attempts than goal. 9 attempts to Norway's 6.
Yeah, and well, I think a lot was made the journey they've been on to get here, and rightly so. But Graham Arnold's speaking about using that to galvanise the spirit, and you can see that in abundance from them.
Yeah, and they're fighting for it, and they think they should have had a free kick. The referee's not interested in the Iraqi appeals, though. Rolled out to this near side for Bayesh. Right foot cross comes in, the header's wide. It's unlucky, though. Really unlucky as Hussein flicked that for a goal. He was looking for that far left corner, but it just drifted wide, and it stays Iraq 1, Norway 2.
Yeah, and it's more quality from them. It's a lovely little cross from Bayesh, and Hussein does well because he gets across the front, and he's just trying to glance it into the far corner, and he just doesn't get enough on it. But you see England scrambling across just to make sure that that doesn't creep in at the far post. Certainly having a good time here, Iraq.
Hussein was one of the overage players to play for Iraq at the 24 Olympic Games in Paris. He scored a couple, scored against Ukraine and Argentina at that tournament. He actually missed the last month of the season for his club Al Karma. 9 goals in 16 appearances in qualifying, and he's got them in the game here tonight, either side of Haaland's brace. It's going to be a free kick meantime to Norway. Nusa's been wiped out on this near side. And it will be a bit level with the edge of the arc of the Iraqi box over on this left-hand touchline.
He's so sharp, Nusa. Such quick feet. Change of direction. Probably the frustration is that he hasn't seen enough of the ball because he looks dangerous every time he gets it. And at times he's maybe shown that frustration a little bit by coming short to try and get a touch instead of getting him 1v1 in the wider areas. He can go either way, likes to come in on his right foot. He can cause so many problems, but just haven't seen enough of him.
Plays for Leipzig in Germany, having previously been at Club Bruges, where he won a couple of Pro League titles in Belgium. Nusa is at close quarters for this free kick, which will be taken as usual by Julian Riersen. Big throng of players along the 18-yard line. We're going to get in the end of this. Riersen's free kick's poor. It's headed away by the first man, who was Ali. Hoisted back into the Iraq box. Cleared there by Hashim, out to the far side. Bouncing ball's awkward for Doski. Sorlot uses his giant frame to hold him off, and out it goes for a throw-in. It's just not a contest. Sorlot, an absolute giant out there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a match, and I mean, again, it's right in front of the assistant referee.
It's come off him
clearly
last, yeah.
Comes off his Sorlot. He's not impeded. His view is clear.
Thrown comes into the box towards Sorlot, who can't get it under control, and Iraq sweep clear out for a throw-in to Norway over on that far side. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. It's Iraq 1, Norway 2 on day 6 of the World Cup finals. Earlier, France 3, Senegal 1 in this section. Sorlot gets it right side of the box, pops it back out to Riersen. A little ball to Odegaard, back to Riersen, space to find the cross, first time with the right foot, too high for Haaland. Now it's with Nusa, left side of the box. Gets it into the area, and it's cleared behind for the corner there by Hashim for Norway, who lead 2-1.
Yeah, he had to duck out the way of that clearance there, Nusa. The ball's fired straight back towards him, just to make sure they get the corner.
So it will be Riersen to take the corner on this near side. Just wonder what price Erling Haaland is for a hat-trick now on his World Cup debut. I mean,
now, imagine what his price would have been at the start of the game.
It will be Riersen to take. And it would have been as short as you can get odds-wise on a player scoring a hat-trick in a game of football. The ref again sorting things out, and he's already matched Mbappe with the double, but of course Mbappe's got a hat-trick in the final in Qatar. We're looking to match that now in this group stage match. In from Riersen into the 6-yard box, a good delivery, it's flicked half away. They managed to dump it clear from the edge of the box out to this near side. Nusa keeps it alive, finds Riersen, an important slide challenge, wins it back for Iraq. And out of play for a throw, although it's going to get brought back for a free kick for a foul by Sorlot, who does like to put himself about as he brings down Ali Jassim midway inside his own half, and it will be an Iraq free kick. It's 2-1 Norway on 57 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a collision clearly he's uncomfortable with. I didn't actually see what happened.
There's going to be changes coming here. Graham Arnold has blinked first. So Iraq will be making a double alteration by the looks of things. Marco Fargi plays for Venezia in Italy, in Venice. Was born in Norway to Kurdish parents. He came through the ranks as Strømsgodset moved to Venice in January and then just sealed a return to Serie A with promotion just last month as they won the Serie B title. And he's going to come on to earn his 13th cap. He's a winger primarily, and also coming on will be Zidane Iqbal of Utrecht in the Netherlands. And they are going to take off Zaid Ismail, the centre midfield player. And the other man to come off is going to be Ali Al-Hamadi, who was looks a bit disappointed at that, and I think James McFadden will be quite disappointed because he was enjoying watching that strike partnership between he and Hussein.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Thought they were causing real problems. Great partnership. Just wonder if it may be a slight change of shape. Graham Arnold, maybe go to that one up front, try and pack the midfield a little bit. It just seems looks like he's the one that's gone up beside Hussein. So no change of shape, just personnel.
Zidane Iqbal, born in Manchester, came through the Manchester United Academy, joined it at the age of 9. Just one appearance in the first team at Old Trafford though against young boys in the Champions League. He's been at Utrecht since 2023. Norway just the one goal up at 2-1. And it's played back to Odegaard and then into the centre circle. He sweeps it for Hegem. And a little ball forward to Ausnes. And the Benfica midfielder flights it out to the right side for Sorloth. It's just ragdoll Farji to the deck there. And it's like watching UFC, watching Alexander Sorloth play football at times. And he's set up another attack. He wants the ball in the middle. Rierson's early cross is blocked there by Hashim. And he gets it back immediately there from Alamari, and Iraq clear their lines up towards the halfway line where it is collected here, driving forward. Ibrahim Bayesh gets it out to the left, tries to get back onto the 1-2 there. He's beaten to it, and out it goes for a throw-in. It was David Muller-Wolf who'd come over from his left back position over to the right side of the Norway defence to cut that out and put it out for an Iraq throw-in level with the Norwegian 18-yard line. Maybe closer, been level with the penalty spot in the end.
Yeah, and it's brilliant from Hussein because it's a ball that he's not favourite to win, but what he does is just make sure he gets that first contact that allows Iraq to get control of the ball and break forward. Bayesh coming off the right hand side to join him.
Really entertaining fare here on BBC Radio 5 live from the Boston Stadium. The second of 4 matches taking place at the World Cup finals. Today on day 6, after France beat Senegal earlier, we've got Argentina against Algeria to come later, 2 AM kick-off. The defending champions Lionel Messi entering the fray. Austria Jordan, 5 AM UK time. So plenty more action to come on day 6 in North America here on 5 Live. It is Norway on the ball with Christopher Ayer. The Brentford centre-back rolls it to Hegem and then out to this near side. It's up the line toward Nusa, who's challenged, and out it goes off him last for an Iraqi throw-in, which is bowled in field by Hussein Ali and picked up here by Iqbal, the sub who's just on. James.
It's such a difficult pass for Nusa to deal with because he's backing in, but the ball's so slow that he can't then take control of the situation. He's waiting for it, maybe can he come short and take it, but he's well marshalled, you have to say, Hussein Ali, but the pass is far too slow into his feet. He needs that in with speed so he can then shift it and get turned and go forward.
Iqbal, who's returned to fitness at just the right time, big switch out in the far side. Didn't play a league game since last October because of knee problems. As Iraq pick up the ball midway inside the Norwegian half, in comes the cross with the left foot. It's knocked for goal and onto the roof of the net there. First time by Hussein Ali. He's really unlucky. Such a difficult technique he had to deploy there to try and threaten Nilan's goal.
Yeah.
And it just ripples the roof of the net and it stays Iraq 1, Norway 2.
The technique is difficult. Add into the fact that Bayesh is challenging for it in the air, and he's trying to go on the end of it, so he has to wait until it drops off over his teammate's head, and he's just trying to cushion that back across towards the back post. But once again, Jassim down the left hand side, he's so comfortable on the ball, looks like he's going to put the ball in. It's a little fake, then they roll back into a more central position, and that little narrow cross, they always seem to have an extra player coming round the back. It's Ali in this occasion, and it's Bayesh. The two of them are going for it. They always seem to have that extra player. They're so brave in how they've approached this game, Iraq. They deserve enormous credit.
Yeah, they made a proper game of this.
Absolutely.
At no point have Norway had more than maybe 10 minutes of domination. And it's Ali on the ball, infield to Iqbal, long switch out right to left. There's another brilliant switch as well. Collected on the far side, rolled back infield, chance for Jassim. Looking to get back onto the return, little give and goes good. He's at the byline, back across it comes, blocked, still in play. Although he came back from being off the pitch there. And then eventually it's turned behind for a goal kick on the left-hand side of the 6-yard box by Farji, and it will be a Norway ball. It's 2-1 to the Norwegians in 64 minutes.
Yeah, it's good play once again. Just see him down the left. Racing for me is far too weak and too easy, and then the ball comes in. Hussein, shock, manages to get something on it, and you're right, it comes back to Jassim, who was off the pitch, so technically in an offside position. It's certainly having a go here, Iraq. I fancy they can get another goal and really make a game of this.
Well, Stanley Solbakken is going to make changes now, and I think there may well be as many as 3 of them. And he's perhaps not too impressed with what he's watching right now. We'll get to those changes in a moment, as Norway make their first alterations of the game. And they have a throw-in right in front of their own dugout down below us.
They've been pressed really well, Norway by Iraq, but also they're too slow on the ball and taking too many touches at times.
Here come Norway, left-hand side. Nusat wins the corner off the defender, so it bounces off Ali. And they'll probably wait until this corner's been taken before they make those subs. I think last week against Morocco they made 6 changes in that friendly at the one time. Solbakken's going to make 3. And there's a bit of tightness down there, I think, from 1 or 2. Wolf is down with a bit of cramp. He's done a lot of running, to be fair to him, up and down the flank. And it's Erling Haaland who's stretching his teammate's leg out, trying to get some life into it to see if he can continue, but he may well be one of the players who is going to come off. I know Oscar Bob of Fulham, formerly of Manchester City, is waiting in the wings. And the corner will be coming first, and it's Leanne Rierson to take on this near side. The Norway left as they attack the goal to our left, leading 2-1 on 66 minutes. And it's going to be an in-swinging corner with the right foot. The Norway fans doing their rowing at the moment in the stand as the low ball, Rierson gets it back from the low corner from Odegaard. His ball in is blocked. It's going to pop out to Wolfa, who's picked up wide on the right side. Challenged well, good slight challenge to win it back. A little tug of the shirt there, was there? No play on, but Iraq have managed to bundle it clear anyway. And then Nusa, under heavy duress there, manages to get it back to his goalkeeper. Bayesh was all over him like a rash as Neelan plays it short to Ausnes.
I wondered if Iraq, with the way they started the game, if they would tire or drop off. They seem to be getting stronger as the game wears on. They're so aggressive to press. They're not forcing the ball forward, they're taking their time and showing real composure. And they don't show any signs of dropping their energy levels to go and put pressure on Norway, who are encouraging the press by these type of passes here. A slack pass back to Hegem, slow, it's allowing Iraq to then go and get the pressure on.
Yeah, be cursing the luck of the draw, will Iraq, in against Norway. Flawless qualifying campaign, golden generation, former winners France, and the team that won the African Cup of Nations this year, but of course were stripped of that title because of all the fracas and nonsense in the final. Morocco were handed a 3-0 win despite losing the game itself 1-0, and a horrible draw for Iraq. But what a fish they've made of it here. Even if they could get a draw out of this, what a point it would be, having lost their only 3 previous World Cup finals matches in Mexico 86.
Yeah, and I think that there's been, mostly well received, the expanded tournament to allow teams like Iraq. We also have to mention Scotland, who I know won their group. Norway haven't been here for a while, and they would have been here anyway, but they've come and shown that they're a good side.
Ali Jazim's down in the far side. It's going to be a stoppage in play here, and we are at that water break anyway, so you will probably, I would imagine, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, the referee here.
Yeah, Jazim was the one that was down in that collision, and I think it was a heavy landing on top of him. He's obviously struggling with his neck.
Right, to come, and there is plenty to come, with Argentina, the defending champions, taking centre stage on BBC Radio 5 Live against Algeria. That is a 2 o'clock kickoff UK time. Interesting to see what kind of mood the Argentinians are in. They were slow starters in Qatar before going on to lift the famous trophy. So they will take on Algeria, and that's in Kansas City in Group J. The other opener in that section, starting at 5, as Austria face one of the debutants in Jordan and Santa Clara, at the heart of Silicon Valley. And that's to come later on BBC Radio 5 Live. Rick Edwards with 5 Live Breakfast follows at 7 AM. And then Steve Crossman's back in the 5 Live Diner from 1 o'clock. Joe Hart and Olivier Giroud will be among his guests for that. And of course, looming large throughout all the coverage tomorrow will be England-Croatia, in the rematch of their 2018 semi-final meeting in Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium. They've met since then, of course. Well, we know ahead of that game in Dallas, which kicks off at 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, or this evening, Croatia have been in the final and semis at each of the last 2 World Cups, so it's as tough a start as England could probably have garnered in the end from the draw. So that's to come tomorrow. John Murray and Paul Robinson are in Texas for that one. So that is a mouth-watering opener here in the Boston Stadium, the home of the New England Patriots. The statue of Tom Brady outside, the greatest quarterback of all time. But it is a stadium that's never hosted a Super Bowl. Local logistics don't help. Took us, for example, more than 2 hours to make a 21-mile journey from Boston earlier on today. But it's not just that. The fact the Super Bowl's played in the winter, and given the weather is harsh here at that time of year, as well as the local logistics, work against it. It's no roof either, but it's a very difficult place to get to if there are blizzards. So it's never and never will host the Super Bowl, which is a bit of a shame actually, because what a place it is. It's also a bit smaller than the stadiums that generally get to host it.
Yeah, it's difficult to get to when there's no blizzards, so
exactly.
I can imagine how tough it is. I said earlier, the fan experience inside the stadium, I think they've really enjoyed it. Getting here and back, maybe not so much, but yeah, it's a tremendous place for any sport, particularly the one we're watching in football. And certainly it's been enjoyable once you get here. Very tough to get here, but it's all worth it in the end, isn't it?
Too right it is. World Cup finals, day 6, and there's going to be changes on both sides by the look of it. Norway are going to bring on Leo Østegård of Genoa, the big centre back. Is it 4 changes they're going to make here? It's not far off the 6 they made in the friendly. Nusa's coming off, and he is going to be replaced, which will be a shame for James. He was enjoying watching Nusa, but the other alterations we'll see. And bring on Oscar Bob, who I mentioned earlier. And they've taken on, as well as we try and keep up with this, Sassuolo's Christian Thorsvedt has come on as well. He's a midfield player, another towering figure. Meantime, Iraq are going to make 2 changes. Ali, the right back, is coming off. He's been replaced by Mustafa Sadoun. It was a like-for-like change for him, and Ahmed Kasim has come on as well, another midfield player and another in this Iraq squad born in Sweden. Sorlot has come off, as has Wolfe for Norway. And also coming off Aushnes, and as I mentioned, Nusa. Al-Amadi came off earlier, but this time the changes made by Iraq. We'll see Ali Jazim come off as well as Hussein Ali. So I think I've just about wrapped that up. 5 changes, love it when they do that, James.
Yeah,
it's a great laugh.
It's like one of the friendlies. Never seen so many subs at one time in a
competitive
game.
Anyway, I think we got there in the end.
You done well, Liam. Hopefully.
Well, I'm pretty sure we managed to get all that in there. So here we are. We're into the final quarter of this one, quite clearly. 74 just about played. Iraq 1, Norway 2. Haaland's double. As the Norwegians in pole position to collect 3 points. 3 points they would have expected. At least the fans certainly would have expected. But it's been a tough evening for them so far. As Norway pick up wide on this left-hand side. And we touched back there to Østigard. And out to the right, it drops to Bob. It's a good ball infield to Ødegaard. And back out to Bob, level with the 18-yard line of Iraq as Norway attack. Ødegaard has it again. And out on the far side, it will be knocked out for a throw-in. By Rierson, wins it back, now finds Ødegaard, back to Rierson, stabs it in field to Bob. And then eventually it's another throw-in on the far side, and Norway have Iraq exactly where they want them. Hemmed in, moving towards the final 15 minutes. Launched forward, right-hand side of the box. Ødegaard wants it. Infield, gets it from Rierson. Little chip is nice there to Oscar Bob. And back out wide right on the touchline. It's swept to the right angle of the box for Ødegaard. There's Bob, pull back, chance for 3-1, but it's deflected over the bar. And given the reaction there from Christian Torsvedt, he thinks that's on target before it's flicked over.
Yeah, I think it is. It's wonderful play. You have to say, Oscar Bob coming on straight away, Torsvedt coming on straight away, having an impact. It's a lovely little set because Bob made the run, he played it inside, held his line, the pass is brilliant, and it looks like he's going to fire it across goal, but it's just a little reverse pass into the path of Torsvedt, and it's a really good block. And that's what you need from your subs when they come on, bright, looking to go and make an impact, and certainly did there.
The sun beginning to set on Massachusetts. Norway looking for what might be a game-clinching third goal here. In swinging corner, coming up on that far side with the left foot, and it comes from Ødegaard, headed in! Goal number 3 for Norway, and Østigard bullets it home from the corner, and surely one of the dark horses in this tournament are going to get off to a winning start in the group of death. It is here in Boston. Iraq 1, Norway 3.
Well, I mentioned Bob and Torsvedt in the build-up to the chance that leads to the corner. Østigard coming on and having that impact. Solbakken be delighted with the impact of his subs. The Iraqi players are complaining to the referee that there's some sort of infringement as the ball's coming in. And I don't know if they're looking for a foul by Erling Haaland, but he's been wrestled himself. It is 61.5 dozen to the other. And Østigard makes that run to the near post. Excellent delivery from Ødegaard. Towering header, it gets up nice and early, the hang time's great, and just glances it beyond a sea of bodies in front of Hassan.
It's just a second international goal for Genoa's Leo Østigard, former Brighton player. He was mostly out on loan there. He also had spells at Coventry and Stoke City. His only other goal came in a friendly against the Republic of Ireland in Dublin in 2023. As Iraq make another change, and they're going to throw on Mohamed Ali, whose name does sound very like the main man in the world of boxing. And Ibrahim Bayesh has come off. if you're a sportsman, you're called Muhammad Ali, you're going to be well chuffed with that.
Absolutely.
There will be a free kick to Iraq on the far side, but despite putting up a big fight here, maybe a fight they're about to lose with just 12 minutes of the 90 to play. Here on BBC Radio 5 Live, Iraq 1, Norway 3. Long ball forward from a free kick for Iraq, it's headed away by Ayer. Up towards the halfway line, Bob gets it from Odegaard. And back to Rierson down the line on the far side, and suddenly Norway are in relative cruise control.
Yeah, I mean the third goal obviously is all important. I think the substitutions has brought that freshness that was required. Oscar Bob in particular, I know he's only been on a couple of minutes, but the impact was instant, and just that change. It's very Solot out there. He's a goal threat, but it's a different profile of player. A little bit of magic in the team now. Go and take the ball, drive at players, create space for himself and for others.
Tashin takes the free kick. He's played it short to his left there to Iqbal. Then rolled out to the left there, Hashim to the left touchline.
Oh,
yeah, it's a lovely little flick, that one there by Muhammad Ali. And then over goes Iqbal, goes down, no free kick there, and dropped at the feet there of Doski. He was up from left back. Norway win it back with Bob back down the line for Rierson. So as it stands, Norway will be matching the France result earlier in this group. The French beating Senegal 3-1. Mbappe with a double in there, Haaland with a double here for Norway, and it would be the perfect start for Solbakken, who was in the Norway squad in the 90s when they were regularly making it to these tournaments. And a long time away, since 2000. Little ball back there to Berge, who goes back to his goalkeeper, and it's launched forward there by Nilan. Bounces back out to this near side, and it's rifled off. An Iraqi boot there, and out for a Norwegian throw-in level with the 18-yard line as Norway make yet another change, and Patrick Berg is going to come on for the closing stage of this one, and he's one of the players in the Norway squad who still play in their homeland. He's Bodø Glimt, who've made all kinds of waves in European football, particularly in the Europa League in recent seasons. Twice a Norwegian Elite Serien Player of the Year. His father, grandfather and uncles all played for Bodø. He is the club captain of that club, and he started all their league games so far this season in the build-up to this tournament. And they do, they've got a few. Jens Petter Høge, another one on the bench who plays for Bodø. But Norwegian football's in a good place. Norwegian sport actually is in a great place just now. 81 on the clock here, Iraq 1, Norway 3.
Yeah, I think most importantly for them at this moment in time is the football. It's the stage they want to be playing on. They have the leading striker in world football, which always gives them a chance to be successful.
Success at the recent Winter Olympics. And Patrick Hovland, the golfer, is one of those at the top of his game. And these Norwegian footballers thrilling a nation on their way to these finals, and they have a 3-1 lead on their opening match. They've got a free kick as well, looking to make it 4. Rierson over it, over on the left touchline, gets it in, it's flicked wide though, and a bit of frustration there for Norway, and in particular for the man who scored their third goal. It was his header there again, Østegård. It was well past the post. Goal kick, which is taken quickly but given away, and it's Haaland's in for his hat-trick, saved brilliantly by Jalal Hassan. That was a huge opportunity to mark his World Cup debut with a treble. It stays Iraq 1, Norway 3 on 82.5.
Well, it's another gift for Erling Haaland, but on this occasion he isn't able to make the most of it. I can understand, obviously you want him to go for goal with options inside, but it is a gift. And let off for Iraq.
Ryerson, was he fouled? No, says the referee. Play on. It's a long ball, Norway, which has gone behind for a goal kick. Nothing comes of it. And the Iraqi fans have been a credit to their team all evening long. They've backed them in the stadium a couple of hours before kick-off. And at the very least, they had that fabulous header from Ayman Hussein to celebrate. As James sees a replay of the chance for Erling Haaland, he found himself right-hand side of the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper closed it down quickly, and it's a good save.
Yeah, it is. And he didn't have options inside. It was just after the shot you could see potentially players making up ground. You're right, he goes down the right-hand side, opens his body up, goes with the left foot. Hassan is out quick to close the angle, and he hits it straight off him.
Norway pick up with Sander Berge out to Bob on the far side. Made that move from Manchester City to Fulham in the search of regular football, real talent. He kind of emerged towards the end of Euro 2024 qualifying in the Norway team, but if he hits his levels, that's another string to their bow.
Oh, undoubtedly such a talented player, so comfortable in the ball. I always enjoy watching people that want to take players on, and he's certainly one of them.
It's back here with Neelan, long ball. Haaland goes after it, indeed desperate for another chance. Just one opportunity. He'll feel he probably should have had a hat-trick by now.
Yeah, you expect him to score when he gets into that position. And I know that it's not a great angle, but it goes straight at the goalkeeper at a good height instead of either going under him or around him. I'm not in any way trying to give Erling Haaland type tips on how to finish, but you just expect him to score when he goes into that position.
I saw a very interesting piece on a TV coverage out here in the States, where Zlatan Ibrahimovic was asked about Haaland and is he as good as him, and he said he wasn't. Said that he himself brought more to the game than Haaland does, although he did credit Haaland's finishing abilities, but he wasn't so kind on the other facets of his game.
So modest.
Just the usual, isn't it? Lovely touch by Haaland there. He was brought crashing to the ground in the centre circle. Yellow card, first of the evening, I think that is, for Zaid Tashin. He's been playing a good spirit. It's a Norway free kick just inside Iraqi territory. 85 played, Iraq 1, Norway 3 here on BBC Radio 5 Live.
To be fair to Ibrahimovic, he's taking it away with it. He can say and do what he wants. He has always done, and he'll continue to do so.
He's not going to stop now, is he?
Absolutely not, and what a player. Obviously stating the obvious here, but yeah, I'm not surprised by that answer.
He said, I was better at other things than he is.
Yeah.
A long ball over the top, Bob's chasing it, goalkeeper comes and smothers at his feet, and it just popped out momentarily, and he panically thrust his gloves out there to get it just before Bob was able to get a sniff. Norway win it back in the midfield as it was cleared, and it's Berge stabbing it forward to Haaland. An opportunity here for Norway with Schjeldrup. His run towards the edge of the box is blocked, and it's cleared, and Norway pick up the loose one in the centre circle with Ayer. He finds Ostergaard. How far can this Norway team go at this tournament, do you think?
It's always difficult, but because you're not seeing them. You know, Iraq have been really good. I've been really impressed by them, but you're not seeing them against the top sides yet. I mean, we get a chance when they get to go and play against France. When you've got Erling Haaland on your side, you've always get a chance to win games and go far. I expect them to go far in the tournament. How far? I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to seeing them when they get tested, to see how they react to it. But I mean, many people fancy that Norway could actually win this for a reason. They're a good side, and they've got the killer up front in Haaland.
Oh, I mean, their attacking line's up there with anything at the tournament, isn't it? We were discussing this on the way here in our lengthy journey to get to the stadium. Right up there. I mean, you look at the French lineup, clearly that is astonishing, the talent that's in the forward areas for France. Also the likes of Argentina, Brazil as well, they've got their faults, but really potent front line. The German front line as well is right up there. And this Norway team have a deep run at this World Cup. 2.5 of the 90 to play here. 3-1 they lead at their first World Cup since '98 when they came through their group unbeaten. Their only win, as I mentioned earlier, came spectacularly against the defending champions, and it was a full-strength Brazil as well at the Velodrome in Marseille. Torre Andre Flo and Chetil Rekdal scored the goals, coming from a Bebeto goal down to seal their place and deny Morocco. And the team under Egil Olsen included, as I said, current head coach Solbakken, Henning Berg, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ronny Johnsen. A good Norwegian team, but they've been in the doldrums since then. And this is going to have the Norwegian fans believing for sure.
Yeah, and the subs have really made an impact. I know that when you get that third goal, it kind of settles you, but they've come on and really changed the momentum of the game. Iraq have made changes which hasn't had the positive impact, but Norway's have definitely given them more control in this game. And I think that's when you're looking at a team that, how far can they go? How strong's their group? We're looking at Haaland, of course. He'll fancy that he'll be the top goal scorer in the tournament. But you look at the strength in the squad. It's a strong squad.
Well, it's a long ball up towards Haaland in the box. It's headed clear pretty well actually, under pressure by Hashim. Out for a throw into Norway, level with the edge of the D of the Iraq box. The Iraqis have to face the French. Doesn't get any easier, does it? In Philadelphia on the 22nd, and later that evening Norway will take on Senegal in New Jersey, and then it's the big one on the 26th as Norway face France here, surely you would think, to decide who wins Group I. But you would expect Norway and France clearly to go through.
Senegal, strong side as well. They'll be more than a match.
Oh, they competed well against France earlier, didn't they?
They did, and on Iraq, I think they've given an extremely brilliant account of themselves. It's been a really strong performance from them, and it doesn't get any easier, but they're at the World Cup.
Yeah, here's Sheldrup on the left-hand side of the Iraq box as they look to finish with a flourish here. Gets it onto his right side, drop of the shoulder, back onto the left. Invited the challenge, which was made, but it might still break here for the Norwegians, and it's lashed wide there by Thorsvedt. Side foot, right foot, past the left-hand post, and it will remain Iraq 1, Norway 3.
Yeah, they're looking dangerous. Norway and desperate to go and get that fourth goal. And then you're looking to get, a tired group of players in Iraq, but they get themselves down the line of the shots, and the angle's not great. I think it's covered as well by Hassan at the near post. But this is the strength of Norway. They haven't been all that impressive in terms of performance, but you just know that they can score goals, and that's an unbelievable trait to have as a team.
Well, we're into stoppage time here, just about the end of the first minute of it. As it bobbles and bounces over towards Ryerson on the far side, there's an Iraqi down inside the box, so 6 minutes confirmed here. In additional time, minimum of 6 minutes. And save for a spectacular collapse. It will be 3 points and a winning start for Norway. And there will be a stoppage in play here because Iraq have a man down by the looks of things. And it's Ayman on the left side. So this places Norway very well, doesn't it, going forward? And it's when France will be looking over their shoulder, because whilst their finishing today was excellent in the end, it was far from a convincing performance. You feel they'd have to be better against Norway when they come to that match.
Yeah, but Norway will have to be better as well, because Iraq have had their moments in the game. And I think when you're speaking about how far can Norway go, you're looking at France, and normally the teams that are favourites and among the favourites, they don't hit top form straight away. They build into it, and you're probably expecting much the same from this Norway side. I would say both of them have to be much better. Having said that, the two of them have given us great entertainment today. So if we get the goals and the chances, then I'm sure it'll be a great spectacle.
Yeah, it's been an excellent match, and sometimes when you're not expecting it to be an excellent match, it can be. We saw that with Iran, New Zealand last night. Myself and James are off to Uzbekistan, Colombia tomorrow, and again in the early hours, even later tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. UK time kickoff, I think. Plenty to come before then. Argentina, Algeria at 2 here on 5 Live. Austria, Jordan at 5. As match day 6 at the World Cup draws to an end. We're 3 into the 6 minutes that were added. There will be a bit on top of that as well because of the stoppage with Hussein down as Hashim collects and drives forward out to the left. It's rolled back in field there for Al-Amari. Left of the centre circle with Hashim. Back to Al-Amari. There's no way through for Iraq now. Give it their best, but that Ostergaard goal on 76 minutes has really taken the wind out of their sails, and you can understand that.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think that overall I've enjoyed watching Iraq. I think they've come and give it a real go, and many people expected this to be a comfortable night for Norway, probably a much higher scoreline, but they've come and shown that they're a good side. They have that togetherness, they have a bit of quality as well. It's just a step too far to ask him to go and really...
A deep cross into the box, which has been headed back into the 6-yard area by Mohamed Ali. Norway clear, but there's a foul in the midst of that, and it will be a free kick to the Norwegians inside their own penalty area. And the Gabonese referee on site. And there might be another little stoppage here, so it's a little bit stop-start in the closing stages of this one. Solbakken down there having a word with Odegaard, who came off to be replaced by Patrick Berg earlier. And this is a big moment in Norwegian football as well. So long without an appearance, 28 long years without a World Cup appearance, 26 years since a major tournament appearance. And they've seen their neighbour Sweden perform on numerous occasions across those years, those barren years, and looking on enviously. And I think Austria as well are returning to the tournament after a lengthy absence of 28 years as well, although they have played at most of the recent European Championships. In the final minute of the allotted 6 here, as Haaland continues to rile the troops, and Norway have a free kick about 2 or 3 yards from the near side touchline, midway inside the Iraq half. Is Haaland going to get his hat-trick? He's still got time to do so. He only needs a split second. Meersen takes the free kick, but he's played it short back the way. He gets it back immediately, and then back to Berg, who looks up at the Iraq box. Big switch out to the right-hand side. Ayer collects it on the chest. Now it's down on the floor. Right-footed cross comes in. It's good. Haaland back across, and it's gone in! Well, it might have taken a touch in its way through, but Erling Haaland will want to claim the hat-trick, but I think it's come off someone else at the back post. Broad smiles down there. Broad Norwegian smiles. They're back in the big time and back amongst the goals as well, and eventually making a statement. Haaland will claim the hat-trick. It's Iraq 1, Norway 4. James will see the replay and he can confirm it for us.
Yeah, I didn't think it went straight in. It's off a defender. It's off an Iraqi defender. And in the lead up to the goal, the ball coming in, Haaland's beckoning his centre-backs to come up so they can put the ball in the box.
Come off Hussein,
yeah.
The striker, the star striker for Iraq, has just put through his own goal.
There's nothing he can do about it. I mean, the ball's floated to the back post. Haaland gets a head on it, and he's just aiming for that far post, but not with power. It's a looper towards the back post area. Hussein's coming in because you've got a Norwegian attacker in there. Torsvedt's in there.
And it just hits off him. He's been credited with it as in front of us, but it looks an OG.
Yeah, I didn't see a touch from Torsvedt. It looked like it was off of Hussein last.
Full time in Boston, and Norway have just made an almighty statement in the end. You see in the stands below us, Alfie Haaland applauding the Norway players, including his son, his superstar son, who got 2 of their 4 goals this evening. Iraq put up a fight for sure. Haaland's first half double, either side of a header from Ayman Hussein, had the Norwegians 2-1 up at the break. Ostigard made it 3-1 on 76 before Ayman Hussein put through his own goal. A looping header back across the face of the goal frame from Haaland, as he momentarily thought he'd scored a hat-trick, but it came off the Iraq goal scorer, and that just shines the scoreline up here, James McFadden, for the Norwegians, and it's given their goal difference a nice boost as well, with France to come. Senegal next for them, but then it's a shootout here in Massachusetts with the French.
Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't have it all their own way, and they weren't at their best, Norway, but they scored goals. Of course they do. They've got Erling Haaland, they will always score, and that is, as much as they're not going to over-celebrate a victory against Iraq because they're expected to win, you still have to get the job done. But certainly Norway, with a convincing scoreline, not so much a convincing performance, but they won't care, they'll take that and move on to the next one.
Norway, after one match day, go ahead of France and top of Group I. It finished here, Iraq 1, Norway 4. What a game, Kaza!
Yeah, absolutely, and Iraq played their part in that as well. They look disappointed, but they have their goal, they've had their moment, and they've still got 2 more games. And just looking at those pictures now, Norway celebrating with their fans. They are full of fans, full of goals, full of expectation and hope, and we will see how they fare in their next match.